Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to Serial at Midnight. My name is Heath, and in this episode, well, we're talking about some sizzling new releases that are coming out just in time to kick off the summer. And I want to kick off this coverage with something I've been tremendously excited about for months and months now. Guys, the Little Rascals, the Classic Flicks Restorations Volume 1. Rewind, go back to the Serial at Midnight archives, September 2020. David, the head of Classic Flicks, was right here in a Serial at Midnight video talking about the need and the importance of restoring the Little Rascals. Fast forward all these months later, Volume 1 exists. It is shipping now. By the time you're seeing this video, get your order in and it will be headed your way. Volume 2 is also available for pre-order as this stands, and there's news about Volume 3 coming soon. It's a tremendously exciting time to be invested in cinema preservation and cinema history. And the thing is, this comedy is really and truly timeless. You know what? I'm going to show you guys some clips so you can see the quality of the restorations with your own two eyes, or if you have glasses on, your own four eyes. But I've gotten permission to show these clips. All of these clips are not necessarily on Volume 1, but they do show you the majesty at which these have been restored. And as I was saying, comedy is funny. Like good comedy is not time sensitive. Good comedy lasts forever, and it's so shocking to me. Shocking may not be the right word. It's really noticeable to me how these shorts that were the shorts collected on this volume span 1929 to 1930, and that may sound like it may sound like the medieval era to some of you guys, but I'm telling you, we haven't changed that much. The kids in these shorts still act like the kids today do. Man, there are children, there are characters in these shorts that have the hairstyles that like my neighbor has right now. Nothing ever really changes, or if it does change, it doesn't change for long. So I am so tremendously excited that the Little Rascals have been given Blu-ray preservation. David went through great pains to secure the finest elements available for each and every one of these. He'll be the first one to tell you that they aren't all just immaculate presentations, but the difference between what they did look like, if you've got old studio DVDs, you know, these have not been respected. The difference in quality between that and how they look now on Blu-ray is breathtaking. I mean, the grain, you guys, you can see just moving, beautiful grain. These, I'm going to make a bold statement here. I believe the shorts, there are 11 shorts on Volume 1. I believe these look better than they must have looked brand new in 1929 and 1930. They have been so lovingly cared for. They've been cleaned. They've been real. I mean, they've been, where there were edits possible, they've taken the edits away, and it's restored uncut for the first time in decades and decades, and they are gorgeous. So you're following Serial at Midnight, right? So you do believe in restoration. You do believe in preserving. That's important to you. So head on over to classicflix.com and secure your copy of Volume 1. Volume 2 is also available to pre-order. And there's news coming very soon about Volume 3. Here's the thing. I'm not a Little Rascals expert. I'm aware of the Little Rascals, like Spanky and Alfalfa, and all that stuff's kind of in our consciousness. There are characters here. I have no idea who they are, and they're so funny. I mean, I'm telling you guys, this stuff, funny is funny forever. So thanks to Classic Flicks for putting so much effort behind the preservation of our comedy heritage. And if you head over there, let them know that Serial at Midnight sent you, because coverage of stuff like this is very important to us. I love Classic Flicks, and I love preserving, not just golden age of Hollywood era stuff, all eras, but this is particularly important to me because it seems like it's getting further and further away from us. So kudos to Classic Flicks. You know what? For everything I'm going to talk to you guys about in this video, scroll down to the video description and I'll have links to where you can just click straight through to buy it. And in some cases, you may be supporting Serial at Midnight by using those links. So the next thing that I want to talk to you guys about is something that I've also been very excited about. It's Weird Wisconsin, the Bill Rebane collection. So much attention is being paid right now to regional filmmakers, exploitation filmmakers, and from that comes Weird Wisconsin. All these movies are filmed kind of in that. Yeah. Chicago's in there too, but we're looking really like Wisconsin. So, all the talk like this, and I tell you what, it's magnificent. And you got Monster A Go-Go, Invasion from Inner Earth, The Alpha Incident, The Demons of Ludlow, The Game, Twister's Revenge, and then there's a new documentary that I have not yet seen. Let me pop all these out here. The new documentary is called Who is Bill Rebane? And it's a really in-depth, it's 115 minutes, so it's feature length. And I love that we're getting all these feature length, in-focus, in-depth interviews and reviews about these people and their importance in the independent filmmaking scene. We've got reversible artwork for all of these. You're probably already looking at it because I've put the photos in here. But special edition contents. I mean, you got the Blu-ray. You've got King of the Wild Frontier, an almost 2-hour impassioned conversation with historian and critic Stephen R. Bissett about the films of Bill Rebane. Outtakes from Invasion from Inner Earth. Outtakes from The Alpha Incident. Outtakes from The Demons of Ludlow, the Giant Spider Invasion trailer. Now that's not here because that's held by another company. The distribution rights are held by another company. But the Giant Spider Invasion is also on Blu-ray. That's also Bill Rebane. So if you want that, you can get that and you can help fill out your Bill Rebane collection. Reversible sleeve. I mean, so much stuff here, you guys. And then, as if that weren't enough, there's a book, like an actual... Who is it? Come in. It's Bill Rebane. Who is doing introductions to all these movies. He's still with us. He's still active in the scene. And he's talking about all of his movies. And I want to tell you guys, the thing that's refreshing about this is that he's honest. He's honest about the movies. He sees the shortcomings, but he also sees what he's still proud of all these years later. Like when you talk about Monster A Go-Go, Herschel Gordon Lewis was involved in the creative process for that. And Bill Rebane does not love what Herschel Gordon Lewis brought to that. He feels like it was kind of taken from him and turned into something. He's like, this wasn't my movie. What is this? Still, after all these years, what is it, like 60 years later, still a little bit bitter about it. And so Arrow has presented these extras, and it says, like, these are the opinions of Bill Rebane, or the commentators, or whoever. No one is acting like these movies are, like, the be-all, end-all. You know, they're not like, oh, they're magnificent. There's an extent, I think it's 15 minutes, an interview with Kim Newman. You know, I love Kim Newman, the British, he's sort of, you know, just a movie pundit. He shows up and he talks about things. He's a critic. He says in his review, or his interview there, that he's talking about Bill Rebane. He's like, I've never made it through Invasion from Inner Earth without falling asleep. I always have to rewind. But we're celebrating these things. You have to admit what they are before you can, you know, like, it's not anybody's job to, like, you know, sell you a bill of goods that's not accurate. And I love that about how Arrow is presenting these, because they're not like, oh, they're the best films ever. They're absolutely not. They're drive-in movies with serious limitations. But for those of us that like that, if you like the craft of cinema, if you like seeing how these things were made, especially in the golden age of the drive-in, there's so much to love and support here. So this hardcover book is just filled, man. It's filled with essays and photos and behind the scenes pictures. One of the things, Blood Harvest is also not included because that is held by another company, the Tiny Tim slasher movie. But one of the things that I was not expecting from this collection is on the first disc, because I'm still making my way through it, but on the first disc, which I've completely finished, there are some short films from Bill Rebane prior to, you know, his later work. There's a Twist Party short that's like 10 minutes. It's like, hey kids, it's the Twist. It's just, you know, commercial piece for Twist dancing. I love it. I love it, man. I love it. I got a little southern there. I love it, y'all. Oh my gosh, it's so good. And then there's a sequel that he did I think a couple of years later, and it's just a dance party short. It's about 15 minutes long. Fantastic. And then there's a public service kind of a film about how to not get kidnapped by the phone. Here's how the phone scam works. I think it's from 1973 or 1974, and it's like they call this criminal goes to a payphone. He's like, hey, we're going to be working on your phone for a little bit, so for the next hour, maybe don't answer the phone, don't make any phone calls. Thanks, we really appreciate it. Phone company thanks you. And then he calls he's calling the wife, and then he calls the husband at work, and he's like, we've got your wife, we want $50,000. If you don't get it, she's a goner. And then he hangs up and he calls his wife, and of course she doesn't answer because they've told her not to. And he's like, I've got to get $50,000. And it's a public service. It's like, don't be taken by a scam. That sort of a thing. Like a commercially produced It's amazing. It's so good. So I was not expecting that, and to have that included is like, I like it as much as I may like the twist thing even more than some of the movies I've watched, but I like a good twist, right? I've got a lot of records about the twist. Not to be discounted here is this incredible dose-sided poster. It's got Weird Wisconsin on the one side, got a poster of Bill himself on the other side. Arrow really, we talk about the physical media landscape a lot, especially right now, because it's changing. But as long as there are companies like Arrow and some of the other ones that we're about to talk about who are really serving this market and not just giving us the films themselves. I mean, look at this. Look how gorgeous this is. Who would have predicted a Bill Rebane Weird Wisconsin box set with this much love, this many hours of bonus features included? I mean, we're really being taken care of when it comes to stuff like this. This is why I say, like, don't worry. Like, you can have a cautious eye to the future, but look what we have. And you don't want to miss this because you're worrying, right? So let's celebrate stuff like this. Again, purchase links in the description of this video, and it's probably going to be Amazon, and you're probably supporting Serial at Midnight if you click through and buy it that way. Let's talk about Ultraman Leo. This is the last of the Showa Era, the classic era of Ultraman. This is the last of the 7 box sets that completes the mural. If you're one of our Patreon supporters, you have seen the mural being completed. You've seen the mural. You've seen the last piece slide into place. I'll throw a picture of it up right here, but it's not going to do justice like that video for Patreon did. We love our Patreon supporters. Try to put up at least one exclusive video every single week. But now we have the last of the Showa Era box sets, and we're all kind of wondering, well, we know what's next, but this completes the mural. It's been a couple of years now, right? Wasn't it summer of 2019 when they first started releasing the Ultra Q, Ultraman on the same day? And then after that, every few months we would get a new box set. The mural is done. And of course, as with the steel, we've already covered the Steelbook in the most recent Fresh Flavors. But I love I prefer these. I like the mural. I like the standard packaging. The discs aren't stacked. Everything has its own spindle, tray, hub, whatever. I prefer that, but I see the value for both. But this is my jam right here, and I love the art. Like, these guys are just so creepy. You get the booklet. You get the Movie Spree redemption code, so you can watch these digitally on Mill Creek's proprietary digital service, Movie Spree. So thanks to Mill Creek for sending this over so I could share this with you guys. Once again, link in the description of this video. Let's talk about a couple more things, and then I'm going to let you guys get out of here. Supernatural Season 15. Big deal. This is a really big deal. This comes from Warner Brothers. This represents a 15-year mission. Full disclosure behind the scenes, like, I watched the first 5 years of Supernatural when Eric Kripke left, the creator. He had a 5-year plan for the show, and when it was over, they decided to continue it, and I could always tell that the creator had left. This kind of goes back to I have a 4-season theory. Supernatural got 5 before the creator left. Bree, still, she's a big Supernatural fan, and we have all 15 seasons. So it's a big deal that, like, I can't play it in this video because of copyright use, but we're all hearing Carry On My Wayward Son by Kansas, right? The road so far. It's as much as I can do. That's as far as I can go with it, but we're all thinking it. And so there's also a complete series box set that's coming out. So if you never bought any of these on physical media, there's a complete series hitting, I was going to say shelves, but it's so massive, hitting boxes everywhere. This has a lot of cool features on it. I've got my press sheet right here. I want to make sure I'm reading all of this as accurately as possible. So the special features included in Supernatural Season 15. The End of the Road is new. Supernatural Family Don't End in Blood, new. Gag Reel, new. Deleted scenes, new. Supernatural 2019 Comic-Con panel. Winning Baby, a Supernatural giveaway. Winchester Mythology, Midwestern Heroes. And then Supernatural, The Long Road Home, a special retrospective episode. Hey, who's your favorite character? Because Breeze is Castiel. Like, everybody loves Castiel, right? The huge box set that I was telling you guys about, this is the mammoth, right? So the Blu-ray has an MSRP of $359.99. It is 86 DVDs or 58 Blu-rays. There's 57 Blu-ray 50s, BD 50s, you know, like the double layer. There's one Blu-ray 25, and that's the bonus disc. There's a bonus disc in the complete series box set. Now I'm like, well, we don't have the bonus disc because we didn't get the complete series. We were buying them as they came along. So, Supernatural season 15. What's the release date on this? The release date is the 25th. So by the time you guys are seeing this, May the 25th, it's either in stores now or it's like shipping as we speak. So I want to thank Warner Brothers for sending this over. It's exciting to know. Okay, like real talk, guys. Real talk. Hey, let's get serious. It's exciting to know that with so much speculation about what's happening with Warner Brothers, they did release Supernatural Season 15 on both DVD and on Blu-ray. We're seeing more and more stuff DVD only. You got Supernatural Season 15 on Blu-ray, and they're putting out the entire series also in Blu-ray. So that's very exciting, and I wanted to mention it because it's not to be taken for granted at this point. It's something worth being appreciative of. The last thing I want to talk to you guys about is something that Lionsgate sent my way. This is City of Lies. This is a movie with Johnny Depp and Forest Whitaker about the murder investigation of the Notorious B.I.G. It's a really interesting story behind the movie. It's as interesting. I mean, it's a true crime movie, right? Because this is it's based on true events. But the story behind the making of the movie is also interesting because it was filmed in 2018 and then there were issues, and you can look them up yourself. Like, it's not my place to just talk to you about the issues, but there were some serious behind the scenes conflicts, and it resulted in the movie being put on a shelf. And then I think just the world we've been living in. I mean, we're talking about corrupt cops. We're talking about racism. It's kind of a hot button movie that's, I mean, hot buttons are hot buttons forever, right? They don't like, oh, that cooled off. No, it was a controversial movie even before it was, 2018, it was still controversial. But it's just like the times, it's like it predated so much that we're seeing in the headlines right now. So this comes out June 8th. And you can pre-order it in the link in the description of this video. But it's worth watching. And as someone who, I'm of the generation who got to see Johnny Depp in things like What's Eating Gilbert Grape. I mean, there was Edward Scissorhands, of course. There was, but I mean, I'm the 21 Jump Street generation. I saw his whole progression from, Edward Scissorhands, What's Eating Gilbert Grape, into like Dead Man. Yeah, shout out for Dead Man. Who loves Dead Man? And then into, the character roles, Donnie Brasco. Like, I love that. And then it felt like for a long time, for like 15 years, it felt like the Hollywood studio system just turned Johnny Depp into like almost a cartoon. The Willy Wonka stuff, I love the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, some more than others, but there did come a point in time where it was like, well, we've lost Johnny Depp, the character actor. Once upon a time, an incredible character actor. This is somewhat of a return to just like grown-up parts where you just play someone who's not, he doesn't have a fake nose. There's no weird accent. It's just Johnny Depp playing a battered cop, a real guy who really existed and was really investigating the circumstances around the death of the Notorious B.I.G. Tupac is in there as well. Biggie's mom is in this movie as herself. She makes an appearance as herself. So sort of a blessing, I guess, that she has signed off on this movie. She's been involved with the production of a lot of stuff like this to kind of continue to tell that story, which I think is very cool. So City of Lies, Who Shot Biggie? That's kind of how they're running with it to market it. But it's got a documentary on it. It's got a commentary with the director and with the author. It's based on a novel, so it's the author of the novel and the director both kind of working toward a common goal. I think it's really worth watching. It's a shame that what happened with the movie and it kind of went on a shelf for a long time. Movies should be seen, and I'm glad that I got a chance to see this now, and I do recommend it to you guys. I don't want to overpraise it or anything like that, but it's definitely worth your time. So, City of Lies from Lionsgate. Thanks to Lionsgate for sending this my way. And guys, that's going to wrap up our coverage of some sizzling new releases. Which ones are you most excited about? Clearly, it's what I love about this. I get to talk about so many different things, but you can see I'm passionate about all of it. Maybe in different ways, but I mean, they're so different. Like, we got TV, we've got a movie about the murder of rappers, we've got Weird Wisconsin and twist parties, and we've got the Little Rascals. It's all special, and I love being able to talk about all these different things. Like, Serial at Midnight is not just one thing. We get to expand and really explore everything that's out there under the sun, all the cool things. So, thanks for being here with me, for talking about this stuff, and let's continue the conversation in the comments below. Guys, thanks so much. Take care. Until next time, I will catch you later.